What is the point of an opening in an anime? It's quite simple. It's to entice the viewer, introduce the plot and characters, and foreshadow/symbolize the series. Most, if not all anime openings hit upon these 3 points. However, not all anime openings are the same. With so much content out there, we can begin to classify the types of anime openings based on the mood given. We can analyze this mood by looking at not only the visual aspects, but also the auditory aspects the authors choose to create. The main moods generally given off are happy, sad, energetic, frantic, calm, and serious. Lighthearted, fun, and joyful are all accurate ways to describe happy anime openings. From a visual standpoint, happy openings usually consist of characters having playful interactions with one another, panoramic stills of the characters, colorful scenes, both literally and figuratively, and comedic scenes that are featured throughout the series. An example of a visual aspect is from the first opening in the anime New Game. Throughout the entire opening, a large variety of vibrant colors are displayed on screen and each character is individually shown, as well as together. Another visual aspect of this opening is a showcase of playful characters and their interactions. This clearly shows the viewer which characters are main/secondary, the relationships between them, and the personalities of the characters. As for the auditory aspects, these types of openings consist of mid-paced tempos, high-pitched vocals with a harmonized melody, simple musical and harmonic structure, and lyrics that don't have much figurative meaning, but rather a more literal approach. A great example of this is the opening from School Life. The song has a tempo of 155 beats per minute, harmonized melodies, female vocals from the characters shown, simple musical structure, and simple to comprehend lyrics. Let's take a listen to the opening. It is important, however, to take a closer look at the importance of the lyrics. The lyrics in the opening of School Life are literal in a sense. The meanings behind the words hold high value but aren't serious or symbolic. An example of this is during the third verse. Here, we see a clear definition of what the characters do after school and does not contain hard-to-follow concepts. Great examples that follow these rules, so to speak, are Assassination Classroom Opening 1, Love Life Opening 1, Your Lie in April Opening 1, and Eramonga Sensei Opening 1. While there are many fun and happy anime openings, there are also openings that really tug at the heartstrings. Sad anime openings are usually gloomy, depressing, and low energy. Visually speaking, openings with more of a sad mood feature slow-moving characters in pans, physically distraught characters, and weather implications such as rain and snow. A great example of this type of opening is from the series Domestic Girlfriend. The opening starts with the main character being physically distraught, as it then proceeds to slowly pan through all the characters. The weather implication is seen later on as a form of rain. Rain is known through most forms of art as symbolism for something unpleasant. This ominous feeling that the rain gives sets the mood for not only the opening, but the entire series, as well as where some viewers can infer that a big event will unfortunately occur. When looking at the auditory aspects, sad openings tend to have slower tempos, although not always, a single voice melodic line, heavy meaningful lyrics, and generally only one intensity peak. Let's take a listen to the opening. Soul Eater does an excellent job in their second opening by portraying the auditory aspects. Just initially, looking at the literal meaning, we can infer that this is some pretty heavy lyrics, but after reading between the lines, we could see an even deeper meaning. The lyrics stating, quote, "I'm falling down into my shadow," unquote, can represent the singer feeling as if they were trapped within their own confining body. "I'm waiting on the deadly night" can be a representation of the anxiousness felt by the character and the dread that overwhelms them as they can do nothing to stop the inevitable. The opening also only has one peak part of the song, and that is when it reaches the chorus. It is the most intense part and really milks the moment by having the singer belt out the deep lyrics. All these aspects are great to compel the audience to not only become interested, but also foreshadow events that will occur. Other openings that also consist of a sad mood are Anohana Opening 1, Tokyo Ghoul Opening 1, Welcome to the NHK Opening 1, and Magic Kaito 1412 Opening 2. On the brighter side of things, energetic openings are sure to get the audience pumped for the episode they're about to watch. Openings like this are high energy, intense, and pretty epic to say the least. When looking at the energetic openings visually, you begin to notice big trends. Characters showing off their powers / cool moves, a beginning that focuses the main character in a calm state, fast-paced scene changes, and an overwhelming amount of symbolism. These ideas are expressed clearly in the second opening of Noragami Aragoto. In the beginning, you could see the main character sitting calm in a chair in the middle of what seems to be an abandoned building with a slow zoom in. It's then followed by quick back-to-back scene changes featuring the characters. A bit further into the opening, and you can see the characters showing off their power moves by fighting each other. This is not only a great way to introduce the characters and their special moves / abilities, but it also shows the characters' relations with others. Not to mention, it does a great job by hyping the episode up to the audience in a way that doesn't reveal too much, but can have the audience guessing about what's to come. By also looking at the auditory aspects, you begin to see how much energetic openings stand out. These kinds of openings are notorious for controlling the intensity levels constantly, having vocal or melodic motifs, having huge build-ups and releases, and overall just being pretty catchy. For example, Black Clover's opening theme does an amazing job from an auditory standpoint. It starts off calm and low energy, but then it begins to raise the energy level slightly right before the verse. During the verse, things stay calm before slowly rising back up, but this time only higher and higher until it reaches the peak, or so you think. It suddenly drops back down and does a time stop where the chords are held out and the solo does a vocal break. Then, with an unenthusiastic bam on my end, the song hits you with a very intense and catchy chorus. This intensity level is held out, and then only gets stronger when the strong beat switches to every beat rather than every other beat. Then, we are met with the same time stop and are brought back down to earth at a much lower intensity during the ending as compared to the opening. This might just seem like the plot of the song is just all over the place, but this is a very precise and effective structure that many composers use to leave the audience dumbfounded by the opening they have just watched. This aspect alone is what makes a lot of energetic openings classify as energetic. By having complete control of the intensity levels and changing it frequently while still being clear as to where the actual peak is what makes these openings special. Openings that would also categorize under the mood of energetic are Haikyuu Opening 1, Naruto Opening 16, One Punch Man Opening 1, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Opening 1, and Attack on Titan Opening 1. Not to be confused with energetic, Frantic openings are completely different in their own unique way. Frantic openings can be seen as hectic, crazy, fast, and overall just a feeling of weirdness. Although energetic and frantic might share quite a few similarities, by far the biggest difference between the two is the visual aspect that is shown in frantic openings. When looking at frantic openings visually, there isn't much you can generally make out. A lot of times, it consists of an amalgamation of objects / ideas and colors from all around the wheel spurted out onto the canvas. It could also seem as if the animation and editing team had a little too much fun when they were permitted to create quote-quote anything. Sometimes even, the opening decides to show all the characters doing things even anime characters probably wouldn't be able to do. A perfect example for this is the opening from Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. The visuals for this opening are so random and jumbled that it's hard to make out what you're even seeing. Not to mention, the flashes of bright color have undoubtedly sent some epileptic viewers dancing on the floor. And last but certainly not least, characters contorting their bodies in ways and shapes that no human would ever be able to do. This, plus the fact that seemingly random objects are placed into the background, add to the really trippy visual effect. This style of openings really captivate the audience since it is seen as abstract and unconventional.
1, 2, 1.
As for the auditory elements, they could just be as abstract as the visuals itself. elements such as very fast tempos, multiple musical voices/instruments playing at once, and lyrics that reference an outside source. Kakegururi shows viewers these elements in their opening song. The tempo is a whopping 280 BPM and has an instrumentation similar to a jazz big band. The genre of music this opening can fall into is considered bebop, which is a form of swing but only significantly faster. Let's take a listen to the opening. This goes hand in hand with the abstractness of the opening, the multiple lines being played throughout the band, the trumpet squeals, and most importantly, the vocals sung. The lyrics in this song are abstract on its own, but also tie into a deeper meaning. The first verse goes, in a literal sense, this is just talk about gambling strategies since the anime is about gambling, but when you look closer, all of the lyrics are applicable to life. One way it could be interpreted is, everyone has their ups and downs, and even when I'm having trouble in life, I'm not gonna let it get to me. My strength is my mental state, and I have to outsmart my opponents to rise on top. This interpretation can also be seen as a growth mindset, which goes a lot deeper than just a gambler being unlucky. These abstract but deep lyrics, combined with the fast-paced instrumentals, make not just this opening unique, but all other openings that would classify as frantic. More examples of frantic openings are Mirai Nikki Opening 1, Himoto Umoro-chan Opening 1, Nichijo Opening 1, Blend S Opening 1, and Mob Psycho 102 Opening 1. To simmer things down a bit, calm openings give off a peaceful state with nothing fancy and over the top. Feelings of restfulness, peace, tranquility, and resonance are all ways to describe calm openings. When looking at the visual aspects, the atmosphere is relaxed, has neutral character expressions, bright colors, and slow-moving scene pans. Bakemonogatari's fourth opening touches upon these aspects quite well. The entire opening has a light pastel color palette on the backgrounds and the characters. Facial expressions seen on the characters are quite neutral, as if the audience is witnessing the characters existing through the slow pans. One thing that really stands out and makes calm openings unique is the calm atmosphere. This aspect isn't directly shown, but rather felt from the audience's perspective. Bakemonogatari achieves this goal by having the main character make slower movements while at the same time the camera slowly zooms out. This feature is prolonged, which further insinuates the feeling of relaxation and idleness. By doing so, the audience is drowned in a wave of relaxed and calm feelings since they are witnessing such neutral emotions. Calm openings also contain many unique auditory aspects that set them apart from others, such as the low musical intensity, relaxed vocals, poetic lyrics, and slow tempos. Clannad After Story uses these aspects very clearly in their opening. The starting tempo is slow and maintains a clear, syncopated rhythm. Let's take a listen to the opening. In the first few seconds of the opening, the intensity is low and the instrumentation is simple. The female vocals are very relaxed and drawn out. The vocalist does not ever raise their voice above a relative frequency since their words and lyrics resonate well with the music. The main feature of the opening, however, is the poetic lyrics. The lyrics show signs of poetic figures such as in the fourth verse. This verse shows clear signs of poetic structure and elements, repetition using the words and phrases such as "ow" and "it was just one," and parallel structure beginning and ending the phrase using the words "ow" and "forever." This type of lyrical songwriting is not seen much in other types of openings, and makes it seem like the song was specifically written for these lyrics. Not to mention that the lyrics have a much deeper meaning behind them throughout the entire song, generally alluding to the topic of unrequited love, reminiscence of a loved one, or passion for a romantic interest. These auditory aspects are what define calm openings and what make them unique and meaningful. Great calm openings that also exist are Black Clover Opening 8, Angel Beats Opening 1, Just Because Opening 2, and Hyoka Opening 1. Although most openings can be seen as serious, openings that classify as serious have a lot more meaning behind them. Serious openings are seen as self-conscious, grave, and solemn. Visual aspects that are seen throughout serious openings are dark and gloomy pans, still shots on uneasy images, focused character expressions, and frightening objects. Another uses these aspects in their opening very frequently. The main majority of the opening visually is dark and gloomy, not to mention the slow and still pans on images that aren't for the faint of heart. This uneasy feeling given from the images shown forces the audience to acknowledge the fact that the series is going to be serious and have grave topics. The use of character expressions is also a key part of these openings. Another uses this by showing focused expressions as well as the eerie dead gaze given to the audience's eyes to further set the scene. This, along with frightening objects shown such as amputated limbs, coffins, hanging bodies, broken glass, crows, and a decapitated head which eyes follow the camera, really spooked the audience. When taking a look at the auditory aspects, the same uneasy feeling occurs. Lyrics that are rather dark, musical drones, usage of space chords, absence of sound, and background harmonized vocals on top of a solo melody. One example is from Goblin Slayer, where they use these aspects to portray a serious undertone. There's a constant drone held throughout the song, which is used to give a sonorous foundation to the song. The common use of space chords, which are prolonged until the complete absence of sound. The use of prolonged chords using harmonized vocals, then an absence of sound really signifies the feeling and further enhances the importance of the sound when it is present. Commonly known as stop time, this technique is used to draw the audience in and to further emphasize the following sounds. However, the importance lies in the lyrics. The first verse eerily alludes to self-confinement due to someone's wrongdoings. This, similar to calm openings, is poetic in nature. The use of repetition and the lack of comprehensible statements not only set the mood, but also inform the audience that the lyrics are earnest. When looking at the meanings of the lyrics, you can see too that the narrator/singer has internal struggles due to the results of someone's presence. The lyrics give off a great feeling of solemn as they are somber underlinings. Openings that are also categorized as serious are The Promised Neverland Opening 1, Steins Gate Opening 1, Prison School Opening 1, and Monster Opening 1. When looking at anime openings, it is clear that there are many similarities such as length, language, general music structure, etc. On the contrary, there are also significant amounts of differences regarding the mood. Openings can have many different moods such as happy, sad, energetic, frantic, serious, and calm. Whether it be through happy characters or images that make you squirm, all anime openings achieve the same goal: